Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm trying out a live stream for the first time in like 2 years. So let me know if you're in the chat, if you can see this. If for some reason it's choppy, let me know that too. And then I can probably just upload a regular video. But, you know, therein lies the opportunity. So I'm doing a video on Bitcoin Cash. It looks like it's ready to make some money in the market. What up, Logical Feels? How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Does it sound good? Is the audio there? Quality good? You know, you never know with these things. I can't hear it, so, you know, I'm just projecting into the ether and hoping that, you know, it's received on your side. So without further ado, I want to jump right into it. Let's make it do what it do. Let's go ahead and make this money. I think Bitcoin Cash may be one of the best buys in the market right now. And shout out to your boy, you know what I'm saying? Been rocking out with BK for a few years now. Said BCH looking ripe on a daily. I kind of been sleeping on this one because it's really been, you know, not a lot to talk about in the past few years. Like BCH, I remember it was a lot of hype around it back in 2017 with the split. This was when I was living in Atlanta, and I remember I went to like one of the miners meetings, and essentially the way they described it, you know what I'm saying? I heard it from the source. This was one of the dudes that had a node on Bitcoin back in 2017. He said that what had happened was Ant-Man had basically forced it, saying, if you don't accept this fork, then we will pull our nose and essentially crash Bitcoin's network. And that would have, I don't know if it would have qualified as a 51% attack, but basically when you have 30% of the miners, and Ant-Man at the time had controlled the ASIC miners, you know, they had their own little mutiny. And so Bitcoin Cash was formed essentially out of nowhere, about 30% inflation to the BTC market at the time. And now it's still sitting, you know, north of a few $1 billion in liquidity. But the charts begin to tell a different story. This is going all the way back to 2019. This thing has taken a beat down, down like 99.8% on that time span. But then inside of 2023, it starts to get a little bit interesting. Right? And keep in mind, even though, you know, these candles are still down significantly from that high, this is going back about a year and a half, down 50% Bitcoin. You never want to hold through that situation. This last little run here starts to give you a glimmer of hope. And the reason I like picking up on these trades is because when these charts do hit, you know, you get a lot of money in a short amount of time, and this thing is suppressed 98% on Bitcoin. So it's like anchored to the bottom of the ocean right now. So any little bounce it has is monumental, you know, all things considered equal, because the price is so low that if it goes up, you know, a little bit, get a little bit of life, the market get real excited, buy it right back up. And so actually we have a scenario where BCH has outperformed Bitcoin since 2025, like even going to this low right here, February 25, and clicking out to where we're at currently, right? This thing is up 48% on Bitcoin. That means for all the dollars, for every dollar that Bitcoin made in 2025, Bitcoin Cash made $1.50, right? That's an easy way to start to think about it. And so I think when you start to look at these altcoins, you know, you go jump on over to coinmarketcap.com and look at the top 10, top 20, top 50 coins in the market. And oh, by the way, real quick, if you do appreciate this content, I most certainly do appreciate you. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, turn your notifications on, do the whole thug dizzle, Where's this thing at? Stretch the screen, fit the screen. I haven't used this in so long. Let's keep that there. Turn that back on. Subscribe. Smash that like button if you in the chat right now. Shout your city out. Let me know where in the world you are tuning in from. Once upon a time, this was one of the most animated crypto channels in the world. So I look forward to returning that into this ecosystem. And so let's jump back into it. BCH is, where is it? Where is it? Did I go by it? There we go. Number 15, right? $573, 11 billion in liquidity. And as I mentioned, this thing has some major money behind it. First of all, you got Ant-Man. If you're not familiar with Ant-Man, who is Ant-Man? Oh, Bitmain. I kept saying Ant-Man. That's my bad. My bad. Y'all could have caught me on that. Bitmain. These are the guys. This is basically China. You know what I'm saying? Bitmain been mining Bitcoin since 2013. How much? This would be interesting if they even know. There you go. How much Bitcoin did they actually mine? 120 million. 30K miners, and that's in one transaction. That's crazy. Yeah, these guys, they got it, you know, and they had it since before it was worth anything. So long story short, this is still the network that is mining Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is basically a mirror of Bitcoin. There are a few protocols, you know, that differentiate it. I think BCH was actually made to move faster than Bitcoin in peer-to-peer transactions. Which people forget, that was the original intention of Bitcoin, a decentralized economy of person-to-person transaction. Right now, we're basically seeing it as utilitarian industrial use, you know, basically replacing a ton of gold. That's going to be one Bitcoin, essentially. That's a good comparison, actually. How much is a ton of gold worth? This is going to be one Bitcoin. And that's 100 million. Right? Watch that be the price of Bitcoin one day. I think that's what it's built to replace. Because you got, how many tons of gold exist in the world? We got 21 million Bitcoin. They got 240,000. So that puts Bitcoin, if you put it on a gold standard, I don't know. I think 10 million is appropriate. Maybe not 100, but most certainly between 1 and 10, upwards of 100, depending on how big this thing gets built out. So it's really cool to see what's happening behind the scenes. Okay, let's jump into this chart. Right? Jump down to a 343. This is what excites me about this trade. As I said, it has outperformed Bitcoin since the beginning of 2025. And what's really cool is when you zoom into this thing, this is the part that kind of got me when I looked at this chart. You can almost see how it's just swinging. Like, these are actually like fractals of this energy sequence getting squeezed together. In fact, when you look at low to low, right? Boom to boom. Couple things happen. If we wanted to look outwards this way, it's really interesting then because it actually predicts or correlates with upswings, right? Let's do this back here. Oh, man. Right, so you got one there. You got another one here. This was a big one. This is like huge correlation right there. And you got another one right there, right? And that's just from one sequence, right? And it shows you that between September, basically September should be a pretty good month for BCH. If we want to know how high it's going to go, we take the same Fibonacci sequence, throw it up top. You can see we got some resonance here where we're at right now between the 2.2 and the 2.4. That should be expected. However, once we stand on top of this thing, I think this is where this sequence wants to go. And that's at the 3.2 between the 4.2 and the 4.6. And again, that's shooting at a drop dead date in the middle of August, August 12th. So that gives you about 30 days on BCH. You're looking upwards of 15% Bitcoin. As I said, we're already up 50% Bitcoin in about the first 8 months. So another 15 inside of 30 days. That's definitely outpacing the rate of growth. I think one of the things you have happening right now is people are starting to, you know, become a little bit wary of how much can I actually make on Bitcoin over time. Like, it's already at 100,000. How many hundreds of thousands do I have to park into the market and wait it out for 20% a year? Or should I throw it on one of these other coins that can go up 15% in a month and get it on that, right? So now you got long money jumping back in the market, buying up these bottoms, and that's what you start to see. But keep in mind, it still has resonance, right? That's why I'm able to throw one Fibonacci on the first little sequence and boom, everything just falls into order. It's still a cognitive idea when these markets come into existence: buyers and sellers, fear and greed, right? Incentive to buy, disincentive to keep, right? So it's very, very interesting. This is all happening right now. We're way, outside the scope, I think, of any relevancy coming from a halving countdown, but this will be interesting because right now we have a situation where Bitcoin is like 4 or 5, reward cycles into it. Bitcoin Cash is a lot lower, and they're still giving away, I think, 12 BTC right now. Oh, current world is 3 BTC, right? So they still have the exact same economy, the exact same metrics, the exact same psychology built into it. And this little article right here talks about, could it flip BTC this cycle? Bitcoin Cash has gained over 80%. And that was going back to earlier this year. And this person is basically saying the same thing to RSI. They use different metrics to kind of see. They're predicting Bitcoin Cash 700, 600. I think if we take that relative to what I'm talking about, 15% on top of 600 is what, 750? My math ain't that quick, but I think that's kind of accurate. So I think it's still relevant. I'll include a link for this article in the description for you guys. If you're in the live in the chat, let me go ahead and shout you out. We got 20890 Crypto. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. I'm about to be doing these live streams a lot more. We go build it back up. If you are in the chat right now, definitely appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to learn how to trade and get set up in the market, this is the best resource for you. It's called the #1 Bitcoin group in the world, #1Bitcoin. I got 25,000 people in here. And we are going to keep each other empowered and in profit in the markets. I'm also going to be posting charts and tips and tricks and everything I can do to help people make money. When I'm not talking on this YouTube channel, will be through this group right here. It's 100% completely free. #1 Bitcoin group in the world, #1. Come on in. The doors are always open. And if you want to see a chart, or you got a recommendation, you know what I'm saying? Just like your boy did, throw it in the comments and I'll try to get to it in the next video. With that being said, everybody, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay or California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss.
Huh. Arms.
Alright, guys.